Alright guys, today we'll be taking a look at the Royal Pilgrim sinking ship, made by Acid. So we've taken a look at this before, but of course this is a mod showcase Redux, which means we take a look at a mod we've already looked at before, but in a lot more detail with a more professional point of view. So I hope you guys do enjoy, and let's take a look at this ship now. So from first glance you can see that this ship is considerably tiny compared to some of his other ships, but that's why we're starting here because this is a good starting point. You'll notice there's no funnels on this ship, and that's for obvious reasons, but it's still big enough to have a cargo hold. But even though this ship may seem small, it's still quite large for what it is. Alright guys, looking at the front of the ship, the bow, we do see the bowsprit sticking out pretty far, which is pretty awesome, but we also have some cargo here. And besides that, the deck is fairly clean. There's not too much clutter on here, which is good because the ship is so small, you wouldn't want to really be tripping over stuff when you're on this map anyway. And then sitting on the deck, you'll see you have access and view of the bridge and then the inside of the ship as well, which we'll be taking a look at right after this. Going alongside the deck all the way to the back of the ship, we have the stern. And we have one lonely barrel back here, as well as two benches, and then of course other things that you'll find on any other ship. And the thing that's really cool is you'll find a window leading to the storage room down there. And then you'll find that when you peer to the back of the ship, you'll see the signature RP, standing for Royal Pilgrim of course, which is the ship's name. And a interesting floating object, which we'll be taking a look at really soon. But for now, let's take a look at the propellers here. So the ship has two propellers. They're quite large, honestly, like impressively large for what the ship is. But again, as I stated before, the ship is quite large compared to what one might think. And then we have the rudder here, which is a very large metal one, which is really nice. We have the water line. And that's pretty much it for the outside of the ship. So without further ado, let's take a look on the inside and let's see what we find. Alright guys, so from the front of the ship, the bow, you do go up these stairs up to this upper deck here. And then we have access to the bridge. Once you go through the door, you'll find that there's a flight of stairs and another doorway. That doorway does lead to the bridge, and then that staircase goes down to the main deck. Going back down to the main deck here, we do see that there's a small room and another door, and that door leads to the bathroom. So there's one singular bathroom on this ship. Also, there's no shower in the bathroom, so you're gonna have to go take a dip if you want a shower. And then going through the door goes through to another room, which interestingly enough has a telephone inside, as well as a table and two chairs, which is, I'm guessing, the dining area, or the kitchen even. And then there's two doors that lead out to the left and right side of the deck, back out to the front of the ship. But obviously we're interested in the bridge here, so we're going to open up the door to the bridge here and see what's inside. Alright guys, so going back up, there's the bridge, and you can see we do have the wheel, as well as everything else you need to control the ship. We do have one table and two more chairs. We have some consoles here. Now unfortunately there's not a whole lot to do up here. Obviously you cannot control the ship. That would be really awesome if you could, but with how this is designed, it's just not plausible. So let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the ship. Alright guys, so going to the stern of the ship here, or it's more towards the center in the back, you'll find that there's another set of doors here, one on each side, the left and the right. And when you go through them, you'll find another room with a staircase. And going down to that staircase takes you down to the lower deck, which is pretty cool. So this ship pretty much has two full-blown levels that you can explore. Again, making the ship appear way larger than it may seem. You'll find that when you come down to the lower deck, that there's a whole array of benches and doors. But unfortunately, you cannot go into the doors, as well as one lonely white door in the back that you cannot go into. But of course, that's not where our interest lies. Our interest lies in this door, the one that says danger. This goes to the storage hold, my friends. And opening up the storage hold, you'll see that there is, well, storage. And there's not a whole lot to really explore here, but this is pretty much the area that we were looking into from the main deck. So now that is pretty much the whole ship, guys. But of course, that is not going to be what this video is about. You guys came to see this thing sink, so let's go ahead and do it. So do you guys remember that button I talked about at the stern of the ship earlier? Well, that button is what initiates the sinking process, and we're going to press it and see what happens. Immediately, you'll hear a crumbling, cranking sound, almost like something's being blown up or something got hit by something. And well, that's probably because that's what happened. You'll start to see the ship slowly lean to the port side, as well as lifting up from the stern. Because, well, unfortunately, we hit something, guys, and this thing is going down, and there is no saving it. Then you'll start to hear alarms, and that's obviously indicating to everyone that this ship is sinking, and you need to get off it immediately. Now, you'll notice as well that when this starts to happen, the ship tends to be pretty hard to move or to walk upon. You'll find that the bow of the ship starts sinking rapidly, because, of course, this is the area that got hit, and it is slowly sinking more towards the port side, as I stated earlier, and this thing sinks pretty quick. It's no joke. you'll find the first porthole already being covered. Around maybe a minute and 40 seconds in, you'll find the first and second portholes starting to be submerged already. And in fact, if you were to go down to the lower deck right now, you'll already start to see the water creeping in. Again, guys, this process is not slow. This thing sinks fast. You'll start to see some of the items in the lower deck start to float in the water as obviously it's buoyant. And around 2 minutes and 30 seconds, you'll start to hear this ear-wrenching grinding sound. And you'll also start hearing water flooding in. And this is where it starts to really accelerate, guys. At this point, the front of the bow is almost completely submerged. Going inside the ship now, you'll see it's rapidly flooding now. The lower deck is being completely dismantled at this point. Around 2 minutes and 55 seconds, you'll see the lights start to flicker. The power is about to go out. And around 3 minutes, you'll see that the power does indeed go out. At this point, guys, the bow is absolutely submerged. There's nothing that can save it. But if you were to go to the stern here, you'll see that the propellers are literally sticking straight out of the water. And guys, this thing is starting to sink really quick. Going down to the lower deck now, you'll see that there's almost no area you can go to in the lower deck now without touching water. Everything is completely submerged. In fact, even the storage area is starting to see some water. At this point, the stairs are also becoming submerged, and you'll have to move up to the main deck now if you want to avoid the water whatsoever. But not even the main deck is safe because, well, guys, more than half the ship is underwater right now, and it is sinking rapidly. It's going even faster than before. At around 4 minutes and 50 seconds, you'll start to see that this is definitely going more towards that port side, as I said earlier. And it's really prominent now because the stern of the ship is sticking straight up into the air. And at about 5 minutes, guys, the whole ship just starts going down. At this point, the bridge is completely submerged, as well as most of the upper deck here. The only thing that's really not in water is really the stern, but of course that won't last long either, because the stern is also going down. And guys, at about roughly 6 minutes, the ship is completely submerged. You'll see it start to slowly dwindle down through the ocean until it finally reaches its final resting place, and that is at the bottom of the ocean, which is surprisingly not very deep. You'll see that it lands on the ground fairly softly too, not super rough. It starts to level out, and then it comes to a complete halt. But of course, guys, that is not the end. We have actually come back to revisit this ship decades later to see how she is doing under this water, and we came on this crappy little boat. I don't know why I even purchased this, wasted my money. You'll find that she has completely rusted over. This is quite obvious because, well, she's been down here for a long time. You'll see some kind of damage in the bow towards the port side, and honestly, this could have been what sank her. It could have even been this. There's no visible holes, but there is some separation here just because the ship has been down here for so long. It could have also been the impact that damaged the ship here, but the bow has some separation here, not a whole lot. It's the stern that really got crumbled, guys. The stern has multiple points of separation here, and everything is just dismantled and crumpled up. The stern is in a really bad condition here. Going into the bridge here, you'll see that everything, well, it looks pretty rusty and nasty and destroyed. You'll also hear some grinding sounds while you're down here, which could be a bit alarming here. Going down the ship, guys, you'll see this mysterious purple and black stuff. Could be some kind of algae or disease that could be destroying the ship. No, I'm just kidding. It's missing textures. I don't know why that's there. But as we venture deeper, guys, you'll find that the dining area, as well as the phone, has been completely dismantled. And the dining area is, well, and the tables and chairs that were here are completely gone. The bathroom looks even more gross than ever, guys, and of course, still no shower. But hey, if you're coming here now, you'll always be taking a bath, so I guess that's not really anything to worry about. Back up to the stern, guys. We're gonna go now into the storage area. You'll find all the storage crates have been completely disintegrated and or have been stolen by someone. But they're definitely not here anymore. And you'll find this place is an absolute mess. The door is even completely knocked off its hinges. And you'll see some of the portholes, of course, have been broken into as well, just from either the immense pressure or because someone destroyed it, or it just deteriorated away. Guys, one thing is for certain, this ship is completely destroyed, and there's not really anything else to say about it except to leave it at its resting place. The Royal Pilgrim was a great ship in Gmod, my friends, but now it lays rest at the bottom of the ocean. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please let me know by leaving a like down below, and if you want to subscribe, you can do so by subscribing down there as well. Also, check out my VR channel where I do VR videos down there as well. If you want to leave a suggestion down below for future video ideas, you can do so in the comments. Also, let me know what you think about this video in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.